Hi, Tyrique. How would you recap this week? Obviously, it's a lot of emotions, a lot of, a journey that you've built up as a youngin. Obviously, you've seen guys make it from hometown to this combine. They speak of it so well. You come and run your 40. How would you recap this experience this week?
We're basically start off with it being so humbling and being blessed to be in this opportunity. Like you said, just watching the guys before me being able to come here and showcase their talent and being all the way from Miami. I'm just truly blessed and truly honored to be in this situation. And how I recap it is, man, just amazing feeling to be able to be a part of this. First person in my family to ever, had this experience, and I'm the first person and for a lot of things in my family, but just seeing this on TV and being the first person in my family to be here and actually being a part of it and just having the chance to run my 40 is just a humbling and blessed experience, and I'm honored.
Yeah, what was the love like that you got, obviously, on national TV, all the friends and family, high school guys, they all hit you up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Your phone blowing up?
Yeah, definitely blowing up with a lot of love and definitely blowing up with a lot of, I'm proud of you and everything like that. I got a couple, you made it. I ain't make it nowhere yet, but I get where they coming from, just seeing the journey that I've been on and just seeing, I took advantage of every opportunity that was presented to me and just seeing that I stayed true to who I am and stayed true to the dream that I told everybody about in 9th grade, 8th grade, and just the fact that I'm saying it here, I'm happy that they was, able to reach out and just tell me that they proud of me. It meant a lot to me.
Yeah, what does Florida City mean to you? We saw Part-Time put out a comment on our post about, Florida City, Exit 1. What does all that mean?
It's just the family, I got a title on me, 7 family. Shout out to the boys, man. But it's just like a different chip on our shoulder, like a lot of people say, I'm from the bottom, not doubting or pushing everybody aside. But if you really look at it and you really think about it, we from Florida City, there's no only way but to go up. So I just feel like it's a different chip on our shoulder that we carry around, just being from so far in the state of Florida and just being a small town with a lot of talent and just being able to stay up on them, just being able to capitalize on that talent just means a lot to everybody in Florida City who's watching me do this. It means a lot to everybody who had the opportunity to get in and out of Florida City.
Yeah, we mentioned you giving back yesterday, and with your community means, the nonprofits, you were obviously coaching 7-on-7. How much of that has to do with giving back to that Florida City and wanting, in 5-10 years, be the legend that has a park named after or something?
It means a lot, and just getting that opportunity humbled me even more than what I am, and just gave me a different outlook on it. Like you said, I went to Vegas and was a part of the Miami Motors coaching staff, and it was just so different and so surreal just to be able to be there driving vans and coaching when, just a couple years ago, I was just sitting in the back with a jersey on, waiting to go play. It was just a so real experience, and that's just something I just want to do. I just want to be able to take all the knowledge that I got, take everything that was, blessed upon me, take everything that I'm continuing learning just to be able to get at, like I said earlier, get at one kid, hope to never give up. And that's all I had growing up was, that motivation of being somebody and being better than people in my situation. So that's all I want to do with my nonprofit. My nonprofit is R7 Dreamers. Not really going nowhere right now. We just started. We got everything approved right now, but just basically want to get my own 7-on-17 like the Miami Motors. Might be rivals, one day it might be, but just for right now, I want to be able to just have that opportunity to inspire and give back to the community like somebody gave back to me.
Yeah. And you want to start with youth, or you want to go straight to varsity 17U?
Definitely start off with youth, so I get to feel and I can start touching people. I can start touching kids at a younger age. Varsity, they kind of had their mind made up. Not saying that I'm gonna make my way up, but I feel like touching the youth first and getting everything settled and giving the youth more motivation is better, because the youth of this country is definitely our future. So I feel like the more motivation I can spit out to them, the more facts that I can get to them. They're not gonna understand it, but just the fact that they seen somebody who came from the situation that they came in, and that if you stay true to who you are and stay true to your goals, that you can achieve whatever you want in this life.
What's this offseason been like for you? Obviously, you had the Senior Bowl. You got your chance to put your name out there in front of a lot of NFL scouts. Obviously, the combine, you've been working hard this offseason. Just recapping, what's it been like? How have you seen your game improve? And how have you seen yourself mentally improve throughout this process?
It's been definitely a real intrigue process. And I would say that I took a jump mentally, physically, and emotionally with this process. I had to really zone in and focus on who I am and focus on who I want to become within the next few months and in the next few years as a growing man in this society. And this process just gave me the opportunity to figure out who I am and figure out what I want to do. And I would say that when I started this process, I had a couple goals in mind, like, lose weight, do certain things like write in a journal or do certain things that gave me the opportunity to build myself mentally. And I would say that I've been sticking to them, and that's been helping me over this process. And the Senior Bowl, just like right now, it just was a surreal, feeling that I've been watching this growing up. I've been, telling myself since I was about 11, 12 that that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the kid that from Florida City that goes up and do it. And just the fact that I was able to go out there and put my best foot forward in front of NFL scouts and in front of the world, basically, just give me more room to grow and give me more room to even add to being humble. Just can't take these advantages. Take these chances and opportunities, take advantage of them. So just trying to figure out how I can do different things on becoming better and staying humble.
Who are some of those people, whether it's family or teammates or something like that you look up to? Ask for suggestions, advice.
I would say my sisters and my mom is the first line of who I look up to. They even though they look up to me and they proud of me and the things that I'm doing, they don't know that I turn around and really look at them for motivation and inspiration. To be honest, just being able to be a big brother and be the only son in the family just give me the more motivation that I need. And the one person I would say that stuck by my side is Coach Rudy. Met him in 6th grade. We didn't have a great relationship at first, but just seeing him grow as a man just gave me more room to expand myself and expand my thinking. And just having him turn around and teach me as he growing was just I really appreciate him for that.
Sure. And growing up, and you come out of high school as a youngin, from Florida City, you go all the way to Atlanta. Well, not Atlanta, Georgia, Athens.
Athens. It's an hour 30 away from Atlanta.
You out of your crib, it's a dorm life, apartment life. It's just you against the world. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you spent 2 years there. What do you think how do you feel you grew from that situation and were able to mature? And even when you got to Miami, how did you get a head start?
I would say going to Athens, Georgia was one of the most hardest decisions ever, and I would say it was one of the most hardest decisions ever because I had to make a decision on leaving my family, leaving my sisters and leaving my mom instead of being a neighborhood hero and going to Miami. So it was one of the most hardest decisions I made in my life, but I feel like it was one of the best that I made. Going to Athens, Georgia gave me an opportunity to expand my circle, and when I mean expand my circle is just far as the thinking, and just allowed me to figure out who I am, figure out who Tyrique Stevenson is in this world, and gave me that opportunity to mature. I went through ups and downs at Georgia, but that also just gave me that more room that I got to improve in the small areas of life that nobody like to talk about.
So you head to Miami. What are some of those coaches? I'm sure you built a relationship with DVD, Adai, all that. But who are some of those guys that have been there since day one? With DVD, of course. Just talk to me a little bit about him and the relationship you built with him and the connection you guys have made.
I would say a lot of the coaches, I won't say been here from day one, but in my book, if you real from the first day I met you and you continue to be real, then you were day one. And I would just say Coach Highsmith, Coach Ed, DVD, Coach Adai, Coach Cooney, Coach Smith was definitely one. He recruited me in high school. Coach Steele, he definitely recruited me in high school, but just seeing how the world works and being able to come back and loot with them, it just I count them as day ones. They was able to provide me with experience and knowledge and able to critique me on certain things that they knew that would improve my game. And I would say that me and DVD relationship wasn't always pretty. it wasn't always delightful, but I would say that I respect everything that comes out of his mouth because he had he's been where I'm trying to go, and I know that all he want to do is make me better as a player and make me better as a man, and just watching him become a dad too. I met him early in recruiting, and he just started his family and everything like that. So definitely respect DVD on a whole different type of level. Even though some days we don't like each other, but that's a rarity. Just But and then with the same thing with Coach Doc, since I met him, he was at Georgia the year prior, right before I left. So when he got here, he told me that he heard good things. He heard that I was a positive person to be around, and just being around him and having him speak that knowledge into me, and just also giving me what he learned on his experience too. Just was able to be blessed by him.
That cornerback room, obviously there was a lot of youth, and you guys had injuries. But how do you feel like it's going to look moving forward? Some of those youngins that you maybe mentored, saw grow. Who do you think's on the rise over there?
I would say one on right now that I still keep in contact with to today is I respect TBD. He's a dog. He's the first quarterback in my life that I ever seen go for 300 each week. And just seeing him grow and becoming the leader of the team like we needed him to be was just amazing. And I would say Jake too, even though Jake left. Jake was one of the players that I know came in with a smile on his face despite the situation, despite everything that was going on around him. So he inspired me even more to come in also and keep a smile on my face. But one person I would say that's on the rise is Jakari. And the fact that Jakari is just a dog and he's happy, he's happy to be who he is as a person. He's happy to be the athletic quarterback on the team. He happy just to be a part of something. He grew up on a rough background just like I did. I had this conversation with him multiple times, and the fact that he's just willing to get better at anything and everything that he do, and he's willing to put his best foot forward, but also be the light of the room with a smile on his face. So I just feel like he's gonna be on the rise, and he's gonna be that next person in college football that everybody's looking at, trying to idolize their game after.
You go from 2 years at Georgia playing high level football in the SEC to heading to Miami, obviously your hometown, but you deal with 2 coaching changes and you deal with some adversity throughout the way. How do you think those 2 years at Miami helped you become more of a leader and deal with adversity throughout those 2 years?
It definitely taught me different ways to approach situations. I had young guys around me and everything like that. Like you said, we had 2 different coaching styles, so just gave me different strategics and different ways that I could approach the guys around me, and basically taught me on how I could speak and how can I be a better leader. And I would say a better leader on how being taught that was, I'm not a hoorah leader. I'm not the one that's gonna get up and give the motivational speeches. I'm not the one that's gonna yell at everybody, but just basically trying to be a big brother. Some of these guys don't have older brothers or older siblings just like me. They the oldest. So just figuring out different ways that I can, pull them to the side and pick their brain, or call them at night, or if you need an extra meeting, or if you got any advice, I'm willing. I'm here to give you what I know. I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. You don't have to take what I say, but I'm gonna give you the thing that I taught, and I'm trying to learn daily.
Yeah. Were there any guys when you were growing up, maybe playing little league or even in high school, that you admired, players from the crib?
Ooh, from the crib, I wouldn't say he's from the crib, but the first one I would say Sean T. Just that dog mentality, go out there, excuse my language, just fuck people up. Just gave me that type of urge and that type of mentality to go play football. If somebody's in your way, get them out your way. To be honest, so I would say Sean T. And then the next person was, once I switched over to corner, was Pat Pete. Just being a bigger corner on the island and being bigger and having people, talk down on your weight, talk down on your size and everything like that. But just seeing him go to LSU and dominate, and then seeing him go in the league and dominate also just gave me that motivation I need to continue being the football player I am today.
For sure. A lot of us don't know what Coach Reed was like, Coach Ed, obviously. What was he like? Obviously, he's a GOAT. He's definitely an inspirational guy. Mm-hmm. What was he like? Was he ever in the locker room? Was it during practices or game day kind of guy?
Coach Ed was everywhere. Coach Ed, what I would say too, he was more of an uncle than a coach. He always wanted to make sure that you was doing okay. He always wanted to pick you before football. He always wanted to make sure that how your brain was, how your body feeling. Is you doing right in class? Is you doing everything right? Because he's played at the highest level. He's one of the I would say the all-time greatest safety in the world. And he knows what it takes to be there. So he always focused on the small aspects instead of the big aspects. But I don't even know how to explain him as, Ed Reed. He the same person on camera, he the same person off camera, But besides him being humble still, with his situation like that, and still being a older mentor in a sense, just the fact that he's just Ed Reed, and he didn't carry himself like that, his legacy is his legacy, but at the same time, he wanted to make sure that he was there for you as an older person.
That's awesome. And now you leave Indy. You go back to the lab to work for Pro Day. What do you hope to get better at, and maybe just get back, watch some tape? What's on your mind now, heading back?
Right now, I get better at everything. I feel like there's always room for improvement, and every day that I wake up and do what I do and do what I love, I feel like you can always get 1% better. But I'm the type of person, I'm stingy, so I need 1.5% better. So just going back to the drawing board to see if I can run a better 40, see how I can get out my brace faster, seeing how can I turn my hips faster. Just I want to critique every small thing in my game to make sure that I'm the best, and I learned that from Coach Reed and just the people that I've been around, like going to Georgia, transferring to Miami, also seeing that Miami held the same standard, just finding different ways to critique myself and set my standard high and make sure that I don't fall underneath it.
How did those meetings go this week with the GMs and coaches? What did they ask you? What teams did you talk to? What was the vibe like?
I had a lot of informals with a lot of teams. Honestly, I can't give you that list. That list was long, but I had informals with. I had formals with Philly, Cincinnati, the Jets, Minnesota, and Atlanta, and them just pretty much the ones I had that was like formal. I had to go and meet the GM and everything like that. And the question really much is, they were just basically trying to figure out who Tyrique Stevenson was, and once I walked in, they all expressed that they loved my game, unless I wouldn't be in this room with them, which was a blessing, and they just asked me, different questions to try to figure out who Tyrique Stevenson is, try to figure out if we draft you, to our program, is you coming in to be a cancer, or you coming in to be that, that light in the sky that we need. Didn't really get no crazy questions. We, to be honest, I did a lot of questions at the Senior Bowl, so the majority of the questions we broke down film. I had a couple plays that I did that I wish I could take back, but at the same time, they made me who I am today. And we just broke down film. They put me on the board. I explained a couple plays that I was comfortable with explaining, and they just asked me about plays that happened over the season, good and bad. And I would say the one question is that I always got is like, who's your support system, or what's your why? Why you wake up and play football?
What's your why?
Really just proving myself wrong. Like I said, just coming from Florida City, I have a chip on my shoulder, and every day that I wake up, I want to prove myself wrong. I want to make myself proud by the things that I do. I want to be able to, look back and give my kids, this journey, and the fact that your dad never gave up, or the fact that your dad never let, adversity win and stuff like that.
Has this draft process brought back any nostalgia from high school recruitment or anything like that?
Definitely not. It's a whole different type. It's a whole different type of breed. I won't say as far as recruitment. You got to go into these meetings with a business mindset. It's business now. We talking, we talking big money. We talking, generational wealth things. We talking certain things that can help you, provide for your family in the way that you want to provide.
17-year-old Tyrique Stevenson coming out of Southridge, would you have envisioned yourself to be in the position you're at today?
Definitely not, and I feel like that's why I'm so, so humble about everything and trying to embrace everything that's going on, because I didn't even expect to be here today, didn't even expect to be in the Senior Bowl, didn't even expect to go to a university such as Georgia, just because of the background and everything that I grew up on. Had a lot of self-doubt growing up as a kid because, I wasn't able to get the fortunate things like everybody else. I wasn't able to, be at certain places like everybody else. So I had a lot of self-doubt. But, one advice I would give to myself is, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You gotta take it step by step every day, and you gotta just, wake up every day and go get it.
Talking a little bit about high school football, who was the hardest guy to guard? I know you played a lot of receiver.
Yeah.
Did you play some corner?
I played a lot of safety and a lot of corner. In high school, I would say Frank Lasson, and just the fact that Frank is fast as shit, and not too many people know that, or too many people forgot about it. But Frank is fast as shit, and just was going with him every day in practice. Just gave me no choice, but you either gonna run with him or you gonna press him at the line of scrimmage, or you definitely gonna get bombed by Frank. So just I would say Frank was the hardest receiver I guarded in high school. I would say my other homeboy too. His name is Jamal Anderson, but he's a corner, but definitely a dog when he lines up on that other side. He's real greedy when it comes to it.
For sure, there's a lot of guys on that UM team that want to prove themselves this next year. Obviously, you were able to prove yourself, and you were in those unfortunate situations at some point. What's your word of advice to your guys as they go into the next year 2 under Mario Cristobal, and they want to make plays?
Stick to the standards. Don't hold everybody accountable. Don't let the outside noise get in. That's pretty much all I could say. Cause just that team is very talented. I feel like they're gonna do their thing this year. I feel like they're gonna shock a lot of people, even me. So just stay true to who you guys are. Stay true to the work that you put in. Trust the coaches and trust everything that's going on around you.
I know you only spent 1 year under Cristobal, but do you believe his message? Like, do you believe the future that he's bringing to the program?
Definitely. He's bringing the same message and the same standard that is applied at Bama, that is applied at Georgia. So I feel like once the guys get on board and trying to understand that he's not trying to be a tyrant, but he's trying to be able to push you guys as far as they can and be able to coach you guys as hard as he can. Just gonna end up being the best for him and you.
Okay.
No problem.